Hey, Brandon here. Welcome to the channel and thanks for tuning in. Have another 2025 Rookie Profile show here for you today. I'm going to be joined by my podcast co-host, Jason DiRienzo. And we've been doing summer scouting all summer long, watching the All-22 film. And today we're going to take a look at running back from Penn State, Nicholas Singleton. All right, going into his junior year. We've watched his 2023 tape. We're going to go over his scouting report. We're going to give him some tape grades. We're going to go over his Dynasty projections, his expected draft capital right now. It's early, but that's what we do on this channel. Take an early look at future draft classes that players that you're going to be drafting in your upcoming rookie draft. So hit that subscribe button, help us grow the channel. All right, let's get to the show. All right, Jason, let's get into our 2025 rookie profile segment of the show here. Huh? And, we're going to talk Nicholas Singleton, and then we're going to talk about Kaytron Allen. But first, let's go with Mr. Singleton, 6 foot, 227 pound, going into his junior season, running back from Penn State. Everybody is in the Devy space, obviously knows who Nick Singleton is. So we watched the All-22 film, right? We watched his Ole Miss game. We watched his Michigan game. We did his Ohio State game, and we watched that in All-22 film. If you're a Dashboard subscriber, you guys saw our play-by-play breakdown on all three of those films. Again, if you want information on that, feel free to reach out to me via email, show notes, go check it out. But anyway, great way to take a look at Nicholas Singleton coming into his junior year. High expectations with a new offensive coordinator, but we watched the 2023 film. Give me your overview before we get into his tape grades, Jason, of like what you thought his game overall was.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I expected a little bit more, but at the same time, I think that he was serviceable for what he was given with the offensive line and the scheme. But I mean, upon getting the ball in his hands, you do see some decent acceleration. I think the mental processing could be a little bit better. I think he's trying to dance and think too much when he's trying to identify gaps. But when he does identify a gap that he wants to take, he has the ability to get skinny. He lowers his pads. He takes on contact as needed. The acceleration's there. I think it's solid, not above average. It's pretty decent. But you see the power. Like he has good contact balance. He's trying to hold up and keep his legs moving through contact. Not too much of a perimeter guy. Doesn't really bounce outside if needed. I think he knows his own limitation within his acceleration and long speed. Even on outside zone stretch plays, I wanted to see him just make quicker cuts and get to the gaps a little bit with more urgency. Didn't really see that. But when he does get into the open field, I think he's got enough juice to take it to the house. I'm not sure if he has a lead speed, but he definitely has enough juice to be a playmaker if he gets that open field, opportunity. So I think for Nick Singleton, I wanted to see a little bit more, but the story's not yet written as far as what's coming up this season. He can absolutely improve and impress.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And you can see on the screen if you're watching on YouTube, piggybacking on some of the things you said, I think he brings so many good traits. Big recruit, 5-star recruit. I think he was a local kid as well, and he seems to have like all that ability. But I think what you said really kind of stuck out for me is he was thinking too much, right? And
yeah,
he's got the good frame, he's got the athleticism, he's physical enough. His contact balance I thought was solid. His receiving ability is great. I mean, I forgot to go over the career production statistics here. You can see he had 22 receptions if you're watching on the screen, 220 yards. So his pass catching ability in watching those three films was really good. And but it is, I think the vision, I think that it was just, I felt like there was just such a lack of creativity and an elusiveness to his game. We watched him run really through in between the tackles for the majority of those plays. We didn't see a lot of runs to the outside where, it was clogged in the middle and he bounced outside and tried to create much. It was kind of like, I'm just going where I'm supposed to go or follow my blocks. And, it was just, we didn't see that creativity that we'd love to see. Now, if you're looking on the screen too, his elusive rating was a 33, which is extremely low. It's a PFF
That's what we saw in
stat.
film though too.
Yeah,
So
exactly. It's just like when he found a gap, he went forward and just kind of ran forward, didn't try and make guys miss in the second level or cut, or he was kind of content on just finding that first initial opening. I felt like it just kind of didn't do a whole lot. So that's what I'll be watching for this 2024 season to see, because I feel like it's in there. And I'm hoping this new scheme with this new OC, they can unlock some stuff where we can give him a little bit more space, because he had so many explosive plays in 2022, but 2023, I don't know if it was a different system or what they are asking him to run more inside versus outside. But so we'll see. But yards after contact 2.79, that wasn't great either. So he's going to his junior year, may come back for his senior year. So let's get into his tape grades before we talk about his draft capital. Vision and patience, I gave him a 3. These tape grades are 1 out of 5. I gave him a 3. There was just felt like he just followed the play, but really didn't go off script much, and thought there was some opportunity lost. What was your grade on his vision and patience?
Yeah, I give him a 2.5. I mean, this definitely felt below average because I just wanted more with every game. The Ole Miss game and Ohio State, like I just wanted more. I didn't want him dancing or thinking too much. I just wanted to see him commit, and I never got a chance to see that. So I'm hoping it improves.
Footwork and short area quickness, I gave him a 3. I think he's got the ability to redirect. I just didn't feel like he trusted himself to
I completely agree with that.
like
Yep.
really like re-navigate, and feel like he was scripted, but the creativity side just wasn't there. So I gave him a 3.
Yeah, he's got subtle footwork, but he's not a lateral explosive mover at all. He's not creative. I give him a 3 as well. I think he's just average.
So acceleration and speed, I got him a 4. I think his long speed is pretty good. I think he's got decent acceleration when he does make up his mind. I think he
Mhm.
just has to trust himself a little bit. But he's got to do. Remember when we were watching the film, he had that like hitch. You remember that, like
Yes,
on
yes. You
his,
brought that up quite a few times too.
like when he's full sprinting, he's got like a hitch to him. So it'll be, I don't know what that is. I don't know what it means. I just noticed it. I just don't see that when I see players run at full speeds. There was just something kind of, off or whatever. But I think
Yeah.
he's got the acceleration and speed to be, an NFL back.
I give him a 3.5, just under a 4. So I completely agree. And I think you said it perfectly.
Strength and contact balance, I gave him a 3.5. One thing I did notice when I was watching the film before recording this is when he got through the line of scrimmage, he would put 2 hands on the ball, when
Mhm.
he knew he was getting tackled, which when he did that, I felt like he kind of fell forward and kind of was saying, well, this is what I do. And then I'm looking back here. He had 5 fumbles in 2 seasons. He actually had 4 fumbles, but only 2 recorded as fumbles. So like him holding onto the ball, I felt like took away from his ability. A lot of guys have it in their arm, but they're still kind of juking, where he just was like really kind of protecting the ball. But sorry to go off on a tangent, but 3.5 I gave him for strength and contact balance.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. I think he knows that he needs to have more protection on the ball, and maybe that's what he's doing. But I mean, I give him a 4. I appreciated what he tried to do, keeping his legs turning through contact, showed nice contact balance. He's not a bruiser, he's not an angry runner, but he definitely can hold his own.
Yeah. So receiving, I gave him a 4 too. I think that is one of his better traits.
I give him a 4 as well, and I completely agree.
All right, so let's talk about his draft capital. I gave him around 3 through 5. If he has a great season at Penn State this year, right? I think he has the
Mhm.
ability to go into early, late day 2. If he doesn't get the draft capital, if he comes back and they say, "Oh, you're an early day 3 guy," I'll bet you he comes back for his senior season, and he doesn't just get drafted as a day 3 guy. So, but right now, I would see him as a round 3 through 5 potential prospect, given on how the season goes.
Yeah, I put 3 through 5 as well, and I think if he knows that he could potentially get paid more in college than in the NFL, he's gonna go that route, and I don't blame him.
Yeah. So my player comp was a Ramondre Stevenson, more from a player style versus like, I'm not sure he's going to get a starting gig in the NFL right now, but I think he has the ability if he were to come out and have a really, really good season. But I thought Stevenson always had some decent footwork. He was a powerful runner, but really good out of the backfield with his receiving profile as well. So he was my comp.
Yeah, I actually like that comp. I think that's really good. I put down Trey Sermon, and I know everybody's going to get a bad taste in their mouth, but to me, it's just Trey Sermon was always that bull in the china shop type guy where I just never really saw him have a blueprint of a plan when he was running. But when he was running, he was just doing what he could to gain as many yards as possible. And I see the same exact thing with Nick Singleton. If
Mm-hmm.
Singleton can just show improved vision, I will absolutely change this comp. But the vision issues I have with Sermon show up with Singleton as well.
Yeah, that comp I'm kind of liking better than mine as we as we walk through
But you're
these.
pretty
So
good at these comps then.
yeah, maybe I'm a little rich with the Stevenson because he is a starting running back in the NFL who just got paid. So
Yeah, but where he started, he was not. So the path could
yeah,
be very similar.
good, very similar. But so buy, sell, hold for me, he is a hold. I'm not sure I want to sell yet one more season, but I'm not going to go out and buy him either. But if I got him on my Devy roster right now, unless I got an offer I couldn't refuse, I'm not going to actively sell him right now.
I would most likely sell just because if I saw 2 seasons of him and the vision issues aren't improved, I can't think it's gonna be a drastic improvement when I'm not even sure if Penn State knows how they're gonna use, the running backs and the receivers that they have now. So I think I would probably sell and see if I can get someone who's still hyped up on him.
I like it. That is a good possibility as well. So there you guys got it. Our 2025 rookie profile on Mr. Nick Singleton.